Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Jishan Karbanda. Hopefully you're sticking to your New Year's resolutions. And as I talked about in my previous video, the Fitbit Sense 2020 is the best way to keep and maintain your health. And in that previous video, I talked about all the new features, all the updates, and all the good things that came to this advanced smartwatch. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll link it in the description below and you can just click on it right here in the cards. But if you have seen that video, good for you. And in this video, I'm going to review the watch in its entirety and tell you whether or not this watch is best suited for you and whether or not you should buy it. Okay, so the way I'm going to review this watch is I'm going to break it down into a couple of different categories and compare it to the other smartwatches out there, such as the Apple Watch Series 6, the Galaxy Watch 3, and the Garmin watch that was recently released as well. So the categories that I'm going to describe are going to be in the video, the chapter, so you can just click on them if you're specifically interested in one category over the other. So that's at your convenience. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so for this review, I'm going to break down the review into like a couple of different categories. So by the end of the video, you'll have a good idea whether or not this watch is best suited for you and whether or not you should buy it. So as you may have known, you might have seen my previous video which was released last week where I talked about all the new features that came in this Fitbit Sense, how you can set it up and install it, and the unboxing of it. So if you haven't checked out that video, I strongly recommend that you check it out before you see this video. And since I will be talking about many of the features in this video, because I already talked about them in my previous video, rather in this video I'll be giving like a complete analysis on these Fitbit Sense. So the categories that I'm going to base this review on is first is going to be the price, second is going to be the health tracking that is in the Fitbit Sense, the third is going to be the UI, the user interface of the watch, and the fourth category is going to be the Fitbit App, how we can connect to the Fitbit App. The fifth is going to be like the dimensions, how it looks on the exterior, and how the overall experience is. And the sixth is going to be the overall experience, how my take on this Fitbit Sense and the overall package. So let's get started with the first category, which everyone's always eager for or want to know about, is the price. Now the Fitbit Sense is one of the most advanced watches that Fitbit sells, and the premium watch sells at their highest price of $329 USD. This includes the basic package, which looks like this. Looks really good. And for example, if you buy it from other retailers, you may get an additional box which has this type of packaging, which includes this box and this sports bracelet or some other sort of bracelet. And this bracelet actually you can buy separately from around $20 to $30. But with this Fitbit Sense, with this package, you get this box, which is basically just includes the Fitbit Sense and its charging cable, and this Fitbit, the bracelet. Compared to like the other watches like the Galaxy Smartwatch 3 and the Apple Watch Series 6, it is cheaper. So those watches start to sell from $399. However, this watch lacks some of the features that those watches have, which I feel are crucial, which I'll talk about later in the video. So overall, if you're looking for a watch that has some basic health tracking such as like step walking, sleep tracking, this watch might be a bit hefty on the price, might be a bit expensive on the price. You might want to go for something cheaper like the Fitbit Versa 2 or the Fitbit Versa 3. If you're looking specifically into like the Fitbit watches, those tend to range in like the $200 and $100 range, and those are a bit cheaper, but they include like the bare bones, or they include the basic health tracking, which a normal person might want. The watch itself is a premium watch, and it's Fitbit's most advanced smartwatch. But it's actually it's cheaper than the Apple Watch Series 6 and the Galaxy Smartwatch 3, but it's lacking some major features such as like which I'll talk about later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But overall, it's a pretty solid watch for its price category. And let's say if you just want like a certain watch which has only like limited health health tracking features such as just counting the steps, just counting like your sleep tracking, and no additional features, then I would recommend that you go for like a cheaper watch or like a lower version of Fitbit watches such as Fitbit Versa 2, Fitbit Versa 3. Those tend to be in the lower like $100 to $20 range, and they're cheaper, and they provide like a basic health tracking, which is what some people only want. So yeah. Now the second category is going to be the watch and its health features. So the watch actually has a lot of features in it, and in fact basically it's like a trip short of the doctor's office, which I said in like my previous video. It has so many features now that you can basically use this like do a self-evaluation, what you would actually do at a doctor's place. That being said, like I said in my previous video, do not just trust the results and the data blindly. Make sure to like consult with your doctor, because the results tend to be inaccurate sometimes. So now let me talk about what this watch has, what health features it has. So overall, the watch has many features like I just said, and in fact I'll show you quickly what there are. So first off we got our exercise app. We have our Today app, which basically gives us a rundown over what we did today. So this is how many steps I took. So I'll go to the Today app, and then this shows how many steps I took today. This shows the heart rate, how many calories I burned today, and then this shows how many floors I climbed. Basically this evaluates like if there's like a change in altitude or elevation, then it counts as a stair or a floor. What I really like about this, it allows you to like log your own workouts or log your own like diet. So for example, if I want to like, I have my food, right, or my water, I can log that. So let's go to that water, and I can click on this log button right here. I suppose I say I drank 20, right, and then I click on save. So then that is logged. So then I click on OK. Alright guys, so the next it's going to be the exercise. So the exercise app will basically has a bunch of like pre-built in workouts that you can actually just start. Suppose if I'm like doing martial arts, I'll just press start. As you can see, now it started and the time has started, and it shows how many calories burned, what time it is, active oxygen, time, steps, all that. So if I'm done with the workout, I can just swipe up and just click on pause or end. So I'll say end, and then way to go. It shows my results. It breaks down my workout. When I'm done, click on done. And then there's a bunch of other workouts that you can actually try. I'll just show you a couple of them. So let's see. We got martial arts, running, and the cool thing is at the top it's gonna put your recent ones. So if you like do that frequently, you don't have to like go all the way down and find that. So that's a cool feature. It has biking, it has like circuit training, elliptical, golf, hiking, walking, lifting weights, yoga, swimming, treadmill, tennis, spinning, planks, a bunch of workouts. So that's really good. Okay, so the next thing as we just move down is going to be the EDA scanning. So EDA scanning is basically going to track your stress level by you just placing your palm onto the wrist, onto the metal bezel, so it'll track that. If you want to see the detailed explanation of how this works and how to analyze the results, I strongly recommend that you check out my previous video where I talked about all the features. So yeah, that's the health feature or the EDA scanning feature about this watch. Next we got our Coach app right here. Coach app is basically, it's gonna actually like give you videos and it's gonna make you work out with. So there's a bunch of already workouts. For example, we have our 10 minute apps. Click on start. It's showing you what to do. And once you've seen that, you can click on this little right arrow right here. And then your timer started. So it's the same thing if you want to end the workout, swipe up. So now we have our ECG scanning, which basically it's still awaiting FDA approval. But basically what it does is it's going to track your heart movement, and then it's going to give results basically. And the way it's going to track that is how we did the EDA scanning when you put your palm onto the metal bezels. So yeah, so that basically sums up the main health features that come directly right out onto the watch. So let me talk about some additional side features, sleep tracking, which is extremely beneficial, and it also has like your skin temperature, saturation, and in fact there's like a dedicated clock face specifically for health tracking. So let me just show you what that looks like. So the way that we do that is gonna go to your clocks app, give it a second or two to load. Once that is done, we're gonna choose that one. So it's the Spectrum one. So in fact, look at this. This is a dedicated clock face dedicatedly for COVID-19. As you know, it's imperative that we wash our hands during the COVID-19 pandemic every 1 hour. So the watch will actually remind you every 1 hour that you need to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And in fact, so I am actually due for washing my hands. And it's gonna send me like vibrations to my wrist, so I know I have to get up and wash my hands. And once I do that, I can just click on start washing hands, and then as you can see, this little thing will start moving. This little toggle will start moving across the bar, counting each second. So that's really good, and this is a cool feature. And then there's a bunch of other health tracking analytics that you can find in the Fitbit app, which I'll talk about later in the video. But as you may know that, or you may not know, when you buy this Fitbit Sense, you will actually receive 6 months free of Fitbit Premium. Fitbit Premium will give you all the latest, all like the best health tracking data or analytics that you need for your health. And Fitbit Premium will cost $9.99 once your trial expires, but I feel it's really worth it. If you're like a fitness freak, it's worth $9.99 per month. Otherwise, the free data that Fitbit provides you is also beneficial. Alright guys, so the next category is going to be the UI, user interface. So I'm going to specifically talk about how everything moves, like how crisp and clear the apps and the overall experience for the user interface is going to be. Let me just put the password real quick. So Fitbit actually this time with this watch, they actually dialed it back with the buttons. As you can see, there's actually no buttons, and the only button here is like a button that's not a physical button. It's just like a button that will take haptic feedback and give you vibrations. So Fitbit did something really smart there. However, what I personally don't like about this button is that once you put this on to your hand, right, the button actually comes below your wrist, or below like the point where you can put your thumb over and just click on it easily. And in fact, you have to take your thumb once you put it and put it like underneath the watch, and that gets a bit tedious and annoying. Okay, so the next category is going to be the user interface, the UI. So the user interface for this watch is actually pretty solid. It basically, they have toned it down, and there's no physical buttons in the watch, and their only button here is like a button that will take haptic feedback and give you vibrations. Now basically you have to swipe to get to stuff and get anything done. So a swipe right will take you across the apps. Swipe down will actually take you to your notifications. Swipe up. See, as you can see, sometimes the Fitbit watch does not register like you're trying to swipe, and it actually gets frozen. So sometimes when you're trying to swipe, right, it won't register that you're trying to swipe it, and it will open up app, which gets really frustrating because you have to wait for the app to load, and then you can swipe out of it. So now it worked here, or ideally it should work anywhere that I try to swipe up to get to my notifications. And then swipe left will take me to my widgets and my quick controls. And swipe right will get me to the app. Suppose if I launch an app, I have to go swipe like that, and then we got that. And basically, otherwise, Fitbit Sense is really good. It looks pretty decent, which will take us into our next category, or the overall design of this Fitbit Sense. The Fitbit Sense basically is a 6.1-inch diagonal screen display, and it's an AMOLED display, and it has really extremely bright display during the daytime, or anywhere where you're like have extremely high lighting. So that's really good. And it has stainless steel around it, and then it on the metal bezels, and then it has aluminum on the back. And these brackets or these bands are extremely good, and they're easy to take off. I feel it's a pretty good display, and overall dimensions are pretty good. Everything seems sound about this, and it's less bulkier and less like rectangle-ish than the Apple Watch and the Galaxy, or the Apple Watch give it a more round look. It's like has a world of both the Samsung Watch and the Apple Watch in my opinion. It's not completely circle or oval, or it's not completely circular, but it's not completely squarish or rectangleish. It's like in between, which makes it look extremely good. And overall, when you put it on your wrist, the watch looks very sleek and posh, and looks really good. And so yeah, I like the overall design. Fitbit did really good on that, giving it a premium look also. So yeah, our next category that I'm going to talk about is the Fitbit app and how interactions work with the Fitbit app on your phone and how it works with your Fitbit Sense. So the Fitbit app, which you can get from either the App Store or the Google Play Store, an iPhone. I like iPhones. And so the iPhone has a Fitbit app, and Fitbit app, like I said before, has a bunch of analytics which are extremely important for people who care about their health. And how you can actually like go about using the Fitbit app to enhance your experience with the Fitbit Sense is really simple, and Fitbit did a good job with the app. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that your Fitbit Sense is connected to your iPhone or your Android phone, and once that's connected, launch the Fitbit app, and you want to go to the avatar on the top left right here. Once you've done that, you want to click on Sense. As you can see, now I have basically my Fitbit Sense right here, and I have a bunch of all the apps. Click on apps. The Fitbit app will allow me to install any other app that I wish, that I want to install. I can even like subscribe for like music stations, add my payment methods, and it has a bunch of like good things. Next, if you want, we can go back. As you can see, here is our Fitbit Premium, comes with Fitbit Premium. Next, we want to check our health data. So here at a glance, we have our data right here. This is at a glance. If you want to see more, we can scroll down. Click on each individual thing, so much. But if you want, you can actually click on this, and then you'll get all the data right here. And this data is extremely important, like I said. So this is a good thing that Fitbit did. Now, here's the problem though. When I was trying to pair this, the pairing process is extremely tedious and extremely frustrating, because even if you do one thing wrong, it throws off the entire Bluetooth pairing process, and you have to do it all over again, and it gets really frustrating. And the worst part is, at the time of this recording, the video recording, you cannot connect your Fitbit Sense to an iOS device which is connected to iOS 14, which is on iOS 14. And this is extremely frustrating because most people have updated their OS to iOS 14, and hence this iPhone X is currently running iOS 13. Hence why I'm actually able to connect this watch to my iPhone, but my other device, which is running iOS 14, could not connect to the Fitbit Sense no matter what I tried. And hopefully Fitbit resolves this problem, and most likely they would have by when this video goes live. But yeah, as of time of recording, there's no way that you can connect an iOS 14 device. So for another thing that comes with the Fitbit app is that you can actually enable which assistant you want. Like, as you know, Apple Watch comes with its Siri. Galaxy Watch comes with its own assistant, Bixby, and but the Fitbit Sense actually gives you like a choice. Either you can take the Google Assistant, or you can take Amazon Alexa, which you can enable in the app. So the way that you do that is launch the app, and then you gotta go back and launch the app. Once you launch the app, go to the avatar on the top left, go to find your watch, and then click on Voice Assistant. You can choose whatever you want, set it up, sign in, and then you can get going. So yeah, with the assistant, you can actually do voice commands like, let's start a workout, let's run, let's go, let's show me how to do this, what time it is, start an alarm, call someone, reply to a text message, all that. And you can actually control your smart lights and your smart devices in your home systems. And next, which I'd actually like to talk about, is the battery. Yes, the battery of this Fitbit Sense. Now, Fitbit advertises that the Fitbit Sense will last for 6 continuous days without you ever having to charge it. That is true, but at the same time, it isn't true. Here's why. A normal user who's really interested in this watch will use it for about an average of at least 3 to 4 hours a day, with having multiple workouts on it, multiple apps running, such as clock, alarm, assistants. And as a result, the battery will actually not last for 6 days. Rather, it will last for about 3 or 4 days at the max. And if you add like the always on display, which you can go add is by turning on the watch, swipe left and click on this. And this will basically, no matter, even if you're using it, the display is going to be on. And at the max you will get is 2 days. Which is different, right, from the 6 days they're advertising. 6 days, the way that you can get 6 days is if you barely use the watch, just use it for like walking, running, that's it. No other like sleep tracking, none of that. Then you can get 6 days easily. And if you have your always on display not enabled, then you can easily get your 6 days. But people won't use that, so I guess it's good. But obviously, anytime this is way better than any other watch, like this watch, Apple Watch Series 6 or the Galaxy Watch. The weightage of the watch, like in terms of gram, is about like 48 grams or something like that. It's a mix. It's obviously lighter than the Galaxy Watch, but it's not that light compared to the Apple Watch Series 5, which comes in about for 30 to 35 grams. So otherwise, the watch is really good at capability of doing stuff. It has GPS enabled in it, so you can easily track your workouts where you go on into the Fitbit app. And this GPS will obviously drain a lot of battery, which will take away from the 6 day experience that you want to about 3 to 4 days, like I stated earlier. But the charging is super fast. Obviously, all the new batteries which are created are meant to be super fast charging. But what I mean, you're gonna get like 3 to 4 days. This Fitbit Sense, if it's drained all the way to 0%, I guarantee you this Fitbit Sense will charge to 100% if you don't remove it in less than 3 hours. Yes, in less than 3 hours, provided that you don't use it at all, it will charge the entire battery, which can last up to 6 days in just 3 hours, which is incredible. And with that being said, we're going to go on to our final category, which is going to be the overall experience of my Fitbit Sense. And we're here at the final category, the overall experience of my Fitbit Sense. So I've been using this Fitbit Sense for about over a week now, and it's really good, extraordinary. I've been working out with it, sleeping with it, and got good analytics of it. But here's what I say, the downsides and the good sides. The good side is that it has a bunch of health tracking features which you cannot get in any other smartwatch, not even the Apple Watch. And that being said, some features, some health tracking analytics are not accurate. And if you want to know more about this, check out my previous video where I showed you actually a data graph of me going out for a run and then the GPS is incorrect. So that, and also when I compared it to another watch, and the health tracking is actually also incorrect. But however, it's fairly consistent, and you can actually use this to show this to your doctor if you have a question about anything, packed with EDA scanning, ECG scanning, a bunch of all those good features. Downsides, really overpriced in my opinion, not worth it, but like for the price, I would rather go for the Apple Watch Series 6, because the Apple Watch it's only $70 more, but you get a better overall experience. And because this watch is more based for health tracking, and if you just want health tracking, not like any of the other fancy features that Apple Watch provides, then this watch is the watch for you. Trust me, this watch is the watch for you. However, now you might wonder, can I get a hands-free on experience with my Fitbit Sense? For example, I just want my watch and I can just dash out and run it. Yes, you can actually, because this has a GPS built in, so you do not need your phone when you go out for a workout. That being said, most people like music when they're working out. Who doesn't? But this watch cannot store music at the time of recording. But Fitbit is rolling out that feature. And that being said, yes, this watch has Pandora, Spotify, Deezer. For all these, and require that you have your phone with you and have paired it to Bluetooth, so it can just sync. You can just control the music from your watch. You can't actually store the music currently. And unlike the Apple Watch, which allows you to play music from Apple Music or some other subscription, you're not allowed to do this on the Fitbit Sense. So that basically negates the point of having a GPS, because the only reason why I personally use a GPS, because I don't need my phone with me. Because if I have my phone, I don't need to use the watch's GPS when I have a better and more reliable GPS right here. So that way, I don't like that watch. I don't like that Fitbit hasn't to resolve the problem. However, it's most likely the Fitbit will resolve this problem and allow us to store music. And that being said, let's conclude this video by talking about one more last thing. So the Fitbit Sense, like I stated, has a bunch of features, right? However, it has these features are not reliable, and sometimes Fitbit just wants to improve on them and they're not actually available to us. For example, Google Assistant just rolled out last week from the time of recording, and Fitbit Sense is rolling on so many new features such as EDA Scanning, improvement for the battery, and overall bug fixes. So the Fitbit's trying their best to make this watch the best watch for the best health smartwatch. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully now you have a better sense on this Fitbit Sense 2020, and now you know whether this watch is best suited for you. Well, it all boils down to one question, right? Whether you should buy the Fitbit Sense 2020. And here's my answer. Yes, you should buy this watch if you want all the latest health tracking features and softwares. No, if you want more like an advanced smartwatch which has more like a versatile experience, such as what the Apple Watch provides or the Galaxy Watch. This Fitbit Sense is also a bit overpriced. It's comes at $329 like I stated, but it doesn't deliver the rich and premium experience that a person will want if they're paying such a high price. And I would say if you just invest a little bit more and get a more premium watch such as the Apple Watch. But that's my 2 cents on this watch, and if this video helped you, remember to like this video, comment down below if you find anything good about the watch or your experience about the watch is good or bad, and share this video with friends and family, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and check out my previous videos which are linked on screen, and have a great day. Bye bye.